Mario Goslin is one lap down. He'll try to work himself back into contention as we take another look at him there. But once again, the real story up front is Jeff Purvis and Dave Mader. But now Goslin again with the fresh tires. Here's where we start seeing how much faster you can go, right, Eddie?
He's running 2 really good race cars down. You know, I mean, there's a guy that's having fun. I mean, even though he's a lap down, he's working hard. He's a racer, but he's having fun. He's won the championship. He secured it. And he's in the Snowball Derby, and I mean, that's what it's all about.
Interesting here, Purvis goes down to the bottom. It looked like Dave got a little bit out of the groove there. Those guys have been sticking right down at the bottom. Looks like his car started maybe pushing on him a little bit down in turn 1 and 2.
Tires, I mean, when they go away, I'll tell you, it looked like he was in a four-wheel drift there.
Yeah, it really did. And now Mario Goslin certainly is working his way up to Jeff Purvis, just as we said it. There he is. Goslin again, fresh tires. What does it buy you? Bing, bang, boom. I drive right around him. Now Mader tries to get into it. Whoa. He gets into the side of Purvis. That was really kind of a rockhead move there to try to move Purvis there, knowing that your tires are that bad.
Boy, I sure wouldn't have tried that. The door opened, but you know, you're only 90 laps into a 320 lap race, and that was a last lap move. That wasn't a 90 lap move.
Yeah, and I got to tell you something else too, boy. Dave Mader, of all people, as many times as he's run this race and as much as he knows about this race, of course, he ran yesterday in the Pete Moore 100 here, and that just was not a Dave Mader move. I think he saw some daylight that really wasn't there.
Yeah, but you know, that's the racer.
Yeah, it is. There he is, Dave Mader, and once again, he settles back into the second position there behind Jeff Purvis, who now is your leader on lap number 93. We're working up to that, basically 1/3 of the race. Mario Goslin, a few minutes ago, if you just joined us, you saw him pass the leaders. He got back on the lead lap. So the 10 car of the Budweiser machine of Mario Goslin is now back on the lead lap. Jeff Purvis is the leader. And if James Finch could win the Snowball Derby, I think he'd quit racing. Well, maybe not quit racing, but you know how many times
I bet
James Finch's cars have left this place disgusted with their performance in the Snowball Derby, because the only thing that's going to make this guy happy is to win. The only thing that's going to make Jeff Purvis happy is to win, but he's had no luck here, zero luck.
Yeah, we were here last year for this show, and they were here with a V6 car. They had a 6-cylinder. This year, everybody's got a V8. So any advantage of the motor combination, the weight combination is out the window. Everybody's on this even playing field, but he was running, I believe, second with only 2 laps to go.
Wayne Willard and he were running first and second, spun each other out. A bunch of cars, got out of position. Tammy Jo Kirk was right in the right place at the right time, and that's why she is the defending champion going into this year's event. But certainly Purvis remembers how close you can get. If we take a look at Russell Bearden there, the 75 car. Currently, Russell is not shown in the top 5. There's Hal Goodson working the downtown radio machine out of Florence, South Carolina. Goodson loves to run this particular race, and he works himself around Russell Bearden.
Boy, there's a lot of slipping and sliding going on right now. I can tell you that. It's there's a lot of guys, I think, that didn't look at their tires at that 60-lap caution and would like
probably
to look
wishing they had them, right?
Yeah.
Once again, lap traffic a big factor. Jeff Purvis works around. Dave Mader content to ride right with him and let Jeff pick his way through there. They're coming up on the lap car of Jimmy Cope, who was just lucky that Jimmy made this race. He was one of those guys that stood on his time yesterday and said, I'm probably in the show. Found out after they qualified that he had to go run the Consi to try to get in.
Yeah, Jimmy said earlier, boy, he'd have bet $1,000 that his time was good enough to make the show yesterday, and this place got fast. I mean, the rubber got put down from the other cars, and
yeah, and sure enough, all we had to do was say something about Wayne Willard, and he goes spinning off of turn number 2 over there as we were just getting ready to talk about Tracy Goodson. We'll get back and talk about him in just a minute. Local man who's done real well here. Wayne Willard gets his car refired. There you see him pulling away.
Yep.
And once again, just plain old racing luck, or is it the tires going away, or just a whole bunch of combinations of things? But I think it might have been us talking about him, because we were just talking about the fact that he and Purvis were leading this thing last year. And Wayne's another one of those guys. Excellent racer, got the right equipment, can get it done, and just found himself getting a lap down here, trying to get caught back up again.
Yeah, he had that thing won pretty much last year, I thought, when they got down to those last few laps. And so he's an awful tough racer. He knows this place. And heck, I bet you if some of these guys could hear us, they wish we quit talking about them.
Yeah, we'll try to be quiet here in a minute. Not likely, but we'll keep talking about them as long as they keep working. We're under caution, as you can clearly see. This is the 28th annual Snowball Derby, and like we said, folks, it just doesn't get much better than this from a short track perspective. And Dave Mader has pulled on to the pit road. Caution on lap 102, and Mader will come in for tires. And surely those tires that came off this car have got to be junk, but you watch for this guy to be a rocket ship when he gets back out. They're going to make a 4-tire change. Good call, Eddie?
Yeah, I think so, because now what they can do now is they can look at those tires. And those tires will tell them exactly what the car's doing, what little bit Dave isn't able to tell them. So if they want to make an adjustment in the chassis or anything, they can do that now. And now they get an idea whether they should have, whether the next time they can go a few extra or should have got off them early.
Well, they better hurry, because the pace car is just coming around, and he's just barely going to sneak out before the pace car gets back around. Also down on the pit road was the 98 of Jody Ridley. Jamie James, haven't said anything about Jamie, the 02 car you see pulling down the pit road. Wayne Willard comes in and gets tires as well. And Dave Mader is back out on the racetrack. And up front, Jeff Purvis is the leader, the race leader at lap 104. And let's go down to Mark Allen, who's with Eddie Mercer.
Well, this fella finished second last year here, but he's going to watch the finish from the sidelines. Eddie, what put you out after a strong run?
Well, we think we dropped the valve. The car was really good. We didn't qualify that well, and we worked, got back to our standard setup. We weren't around the car, just cruising around, working my way to the front. Well, I don't know, we got up 4th or 5th or something, and the thing just blew, dropped the valve.
But in 4th at the time, he was on pole time, the very first ever Hooters Cup race.
Eddie Mercer, tough break for him this afternoon. Once again, this is what he lives for all year long, to do well at the Snowball, and he'll have to take it back and put it away and bring it back out again next year to try to win it. We're back under green. Jeff Purvis is back in the lead, and a whole bunch of people have got some fresh rubber. It's going to be interesting now to see once again how the field will sort out. You're looking at Mario Goslin there, who got back on the lead lap during this last green flag segment, and certainly he now stands to be someone to be contend with, and he'll try to move up on the back of Tammy Joe, or actually got around Tammy Joe just a minute ago, and Goslin will work his way through traffic. Purvis is doing exactly what he has to do, Eddie.
Absolutely.
Get out there, run your pace, and run the racetrack, and don't worry so much about what the field's doing.
Yeah, he knows. He's got enough experience. He knows what his car's doing. He knows how it feels, and the driver can tell if he's burning up the tires or not. And there's still a lot of cars on the racetrack, and all those guys with fresh rubber, he knows they're coming, but it's going to take them a while to work themselves through traffic, and odds are he's hoping by the time they get through it, they've wore their tires out when they get back to him.
And once again, we're watching the Budweiser machine of Mario Goslin, and the big trick here for him is the same as it was at the very first of this race. You got to pick your way through this traffic carefully. If you have another big problem, and he's already had one this afternoon, he can find himself in a real bind.
Yeah, I'll tell you who's really fast, and that's Rich Bickle. We talked to him yesterday, and he said he wants to ride, and he wants to see what's going to happen, but he is fast.
Yeah, and Bickle's the only back-to-back champion of the Snowball Derby. Talk about a guy that's got the world by the tail right now. Rich Bickle in the 6 car. He's going to be driving a super truck next year with Richard Petty, a Mopar-sponsored super truck, we might add. Bickle is great in the push cars. He's done well in the Cup cars, the races that he's run over the past couple of years. And man, when it comes to short track racing, I don't believe anybody can argue with the fact that Rich Bickle is definitely one of the best in the country. Dave Mader on fresh tires once again. He starts working his way back to the front.
Boy, he made that look easy, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Drove right under him.
He's running there behind Query, and Query, a lot of them pitted. Query has good tires, and Mader has good tires. They all went in together, but it's obvious there's 2 cars on equal tires, and you still know who's the best car.
Freddie Query once again. I mean, you get the 2 cars a little mixed up with Rich Bickle and Freddie Query, both Terminal Trucking sponsored machines, but I tell you what, you put those 2 out there and they can put on a show all by themselves as far as short track racing goes. Doesn't get any better than those guys.
No, I've had the privilege of being on the same racetrack with both of them at the same time and separately, and part of it was a privilege, part of it was a real lesson. Yeah.